Good.
Good, Annie.
Oh, yeah,
It's
that's
good.
okay.
He has food.
No, there's just some really good models here which helps explain a bit about Stonehenge. Stonehenge, what you see today, has evolved over hundreds and hundreds of years. So originally, it actually started out like this. So there was a ditch, there was a bank on the inside, and back in those days, obviously there was no tools, so they had no spades, no shovels. So to build this, they would actually use the horns of a deer, an antler's pick, and that's how they're actually able to date it, because they found the picks within the actual ditches, and they can date it back, so they know that this was done back in 3000 BC. Now, in the 1600s, there was a guy called John Aubrey, and he was commissioned by the king to go around and to map the ancient monuments. And so he came to Stonehenge, and he actually did the first diagrams that we have of Stonehenge. And when he was here, he found 56 holes on the inside of the actual the bank, and they're called the Aubrey holes, so you might hear about those later on. Now, he didn't actually excavate them or anything else, because he wasn't an archaeologist, he was just here to map all, because the king was very interested in these things. Later on, in the 1900s, 1920s, the archaeologists actually came and did some digging, and within those holes, he found bones. He found cremated remains. So basically, they were cremating people and then placing them in the holes. And looking at the holes, the size of the holes, the way it was compounded, they found that actually there would have been a stone there as well. So they put cremated remains inside a hole and then put a stone on top. So that was originally what happened back in around about 3000 BC. Now, when he was doing all his excavations in the 1920s, he collected all the cremated remains and he tried to actually give it to the museums, like the one in London. So here you go, guys, look, we've got some prehistoric guys here. Do you want it? And they went, no, we don't want this, we don't want this. And no one would take all these remains off him, so he had it in the attic in his house. There's probably some boxes or something, until his wife, I imagine, got a bit upset about all these remains inside our house. He came back and he buried all of these remains inside one hole. It's called Aubrey Hole 7. And it wasn't until 10 years ago, when one of the local archaeologists here came and did a dig, he then found all these remains inside one of these holes. Like 200 individuals would have been buried there, which is pretty cool. So, because they were cremated, to actually cremate them would require a lot of work, a lot of wood, because then you have to get a temperature of 1,000 degrees or whatever. So obviously these aren't your normal people, these are probably noble people, people high respected. So certainly in the beginning years, this was a very sacred place for burying very, very important people, without doubt. 500 years later, that's when it changed into what you see today. Got very interesting. This is when they brought all the stones in. So they brought the big stones in. He's came from an area about 20 miles north here, they believe. These are called the Sarsen stones. So they built one circle on the inside. They had an inner horseshoe. Okay. They had 4 small stones here, which they call station stones. In here. And if you do the rectangle, the exact centre is in the centre of the circle. So they think they use those to actually decide where's the centre of the circle and then build around it. Other people say to do with the phases of the moon, but there's so many theories out there. But I personally think it probably makes sense these station markers were here to help them work out where the centre was. So they brought all these big stones in. The smaller stones that we can see here are around the outside, they're moved inside, and they take, you can see, 2 inner horseshoes. They also moved, there was a local stone here called the hill stone. They moved that toward the entrance. Put some stones here to signify the entrance into the actual stone circle. And this is where it also gets its solstice alignment. So you may know that Stonehenge is very famous for the summer solstice and winter solstice. Basically, at the summer solstice, the sun rises just over the hill stone, and the first rays of light hit right at the centre of the 2 biggest stones. It's called the giant trilophon in the centre. That's on June 21st. On December 21st, when you have the winter solstice, the sun sets directly between these 2 stones, which is really cool. So obviously they were using that, they were marking those particular occasions. What else they were doing at that time, we're not sure. So that was around about 2,500 to 2,200 BC. Then changed again, not so much, but mainly with the smaller blue stones. They changed the layout there, and they also then built a big earthwork enclosure into the monument, which led all the way down to the river. And then this is what you can see today. They've missed out one bit in between. That's around about 1500s, when during the Bronze Age, they actually marked the stones. It's like prehistoric graffiti. They marked 115 broad axes, so they carved them onto the stone. We don't know why and for what reason. And they only discovered them in the 1950s because they're actually quite hard to see. Someone found them and then they did some special, not sure on the technology they used, but that's when they found 115 of these on the stones. So certainly during the Bronze Age, they were still using the site and still revering it. It's later on after that, that's when basically it fell down in the 1900s. It's now been partly restored. This is what you see today. Any questions so far? No? Cool.
Love it.
Well, feel free to walk around the exhibit. Outside there's a map that shows all the historic sites in the area, so I'll just give you a little talk there, and then what we do, we get the shuttle bus over to Stonehenge so you can actually see the stones.
Okay.
Thank you. We don't like to read, so thank you. And Bear's leaving? No? Okay. Wait, you guys are reading now. I thought I lied. Yeah, I said it's Bear's ancestor. Let me get a video of him. Bear said it could be. It's Red-Beard Bear. Eva, is this Bear? Red-Beard Bear? He said it could be.